I hope you had a great time at the Clark Sim Center, kind of seeing all the improvements that the Army has put into making sure that our soldiers of today and our leaders of tomorrow are ready to go forth and be entrusted with really the nation's most precious resource, and that's our sons and daughters. And as you can see, you know, at the end of the day, we still have to get out and do it for real. You can only train in a simulator for so long. You've got to be able to do it on the dirt, in a vehicle, at night when it's raining and it's freezing cold, to know that you can actually do it. But the capability that is resident in that sim center, even when I was a lieutenant, the Army just didn't have that. And that's really the Army's ability to shepherd all of its resources to make the greatest possible leaders that we can have over here. So now what we've got for you, I'm really excited and proud to be able to introduce Captain Retired Florent Groberg, who's the latest Medal of Honor recipient from Operation Enduring Freedom. He's an OCS commissioned officer, and Captain Groberg came to us, and he actually spoke to Charlie Company, Class 00116, earlier this year. And at the time, I don't think any of us knew exactly the kind of message that he was going to deliver. And when he was done and walked off the stage, everyone at Fort Benning said, we've got to have him back again. And very fortunately, he was being inducted with the class of 16 into the Hall of Fame. So it was just really fortuitous that we could get him back here to speak to you. And one of the things that struck me last night from the dinner was that, especially as we were kind of singing the last song of the night, is that the war may change, the date may be different, but the themes of camaraderie, leadership, and facing fear and uncertainty and getting a team of people through that is certainly the same throughout the years. And it has been something that our predecessors have gone back and faced for 240 years. It's something that you all have lived through. It's what we're preparing our next generation to do. And it's something that I'm very privileged to allow Captain Groberg to come on up here and talk a little bit about his experiences in the Army, how OCS led him to the point of saving a whole bunch of people's lives. And without further ado, I'd like Captain Groberg to come on up here. So please join me for a round of applause.
Morning. No pressure, right? All Fort Benning. I don't know about that. I'm a terrible public speaker because I'm an infantryman. So that's the truth. No, honestly, when I got picked up this morning, I was really excited because I was home. You know, this is home to the infantry. This is where my entire military career started. And then I was told I had a 45-minute block to speak. I was not prepared for that. So, who is the class leader of Bravo Company? Who's right now the acting CO? You are? Yes, sir. Oh, please relax. Look, you got to watch, right? Yes, 20 minutes. If I go over 20 minutes, you stand up and you say, sir, you're out of time. And then I'll just go for another 5 minutes. We good with that? God, it feels good to be just a civilian and just giving sort of little orders. Hey, before I say anything, I want to say this is a very big thing for me. I want to thank our generations who served before mine. I want to thank you for everything that you've done, from World War II to Korea to Vietnam and Desert Storm. They're here, so for that, I'd like to give you a round of applause because we would not be here, I will personally not be here speaking to you unless you did the things that you did. And for that, the fact that I had the opportunity to wear the same uniform as you did is the biggest honor that a man could ever receive, so thank you. I truly mean it. Are you guys kidding me? You know, I just told a story outside. When I first received the medal, I got to go to the Military Bowl in Annapolis to watch Navy play, I think it was Pittsburgh or something, for a bowl game. And I got there, and I met some of the older generation Medal of Honor recipients, specifically a Marine named Woody Williams. And he came up to me, he looked at me, and said, "Hey, are you the latest latest Medal of Honor recipient?" I looked at him, I knew who he was, of course, Woody Williams. Rajat sir, he's like, "Damn, they gave another one to the Army." That's what he said. And he walked away from me. I couldn't believe it. I was just so excited. I got to talk to Woody Williams. But listening to the stories just made me realize how important it is to remember where we come from. What our men and women have done in our past. What they've gone through. How they've sacrificed. And the way they have received us is incredible. I like to personally speak about the Vietnam veterans. When they came home, they didn't come home to what we come home today. Absolutely not. I hear about it all the time. I'm at VFW. But last time I checked, when I deployed, I had a whole crew of individuals following us to the airport, shaking our hands, giving us hugs, sharing a last meal with us. And when we got home, they were there to receive us, big smiles on their faces, giving us hugs, and telling us how proud they were of us. That's incredible. You know why that's incredible? Because they could be bitter right now. They didn't get that when they were coming back from Vietnam. They got harsh words, things thrown at them, and a country that failed to recognize who they were, our nation's finest. But today, they stand in front of us, with us, supporting us at all times, proud of us. That kind of shows you who they were from the beginning and who they are today. So when you wear that uniform, when you go out there and serve your country, when it gets tough, when it gets frustrating, when it doesn't make sense, take a step back, reflect on what it means to wear that uniform and the history behind it. Because I promise you, if you can do that, all your issues, all your problems will just disappear. Because it is an honor and a privilege to be able to wear that uniform. When I first came back from my first tour in 2010, I was deployed with 4th ID 4th Brigade out of Fort Carson, Colorado, and we were in the eastern part of Afghanistan in the Kunar province. I was in the Pesh Valley at Camp Hanukkah Miracle. I spent a few months out there, and I got to learn a lot about myself, but I really got to learn a lot about what it is like to be a military leader, the responsibilities behind it. It was there that I learned in real life what it takes to be a leader. When I was sitting in your shoes, I got to spend time with individuals, friends for life now, who sort of molded me as a soldier at that specific time, how to be a team player. And I got the stories, I got the history, I got the training from the cadre, and I loved it. And I listened, and I learned, and I worked my butt off to make sure that I was the best soldier that I could be. But all those lessons learned, from OCS to BOIC 2 to IBOIC to Ranger School to Airborne School, they all materialized themselves into one specific moment. The day that I took over for 4th Platoon Dagger Company. That moment when Colonel Pearl told me, that's your platoon. Go out there and earn it. You're sitting in those chairs right now. Some of you are about to graduate. Some of you are about to get picked up. You have the greatest responsibility in the world. Honestly. I don't think there's a greater responsibility than that. You get to directly lead men and women in combat. You get that? That's the greatest thing that could ever be given to you. And it's not given. You can't just earn it. It's a privilege. You get to go out there and lead men and women in combat. Your decision-making process will dictate not only whether the mission is successful or not, but whether or not your teammates get to come home. Back of your head, that's the responsibility. You get to lead our nation's finest. But don't worry, it's not that bad. It really isn't. You know why? Here's a lesson I learned from the get-go. If you want to be successful as an officer, listen to your NCOs. That's it. That is the key. Take your pride. Take your pride, take your ego, and leave it here. Right? Put it in the back room, wherever you want it. You can go pick it up later on in life. You sit there in your chair, smoking a cigar, drinking a bourbon, or watching, the Kim Kardashians and whatever. It don't matter. You can bring that whole pride, ego, and, put it back in, where again. But the thing is, understand who you are, where you come from, and the responsibility behind your job. So what happened to me on that first tour is, when Colonel Pearl told me, this is your platoon, and sent me to Cop Hunter Miracle, the first person I went after was not Lieutenant Salinas. It really wasn't. I was going to listen to Salinas. He was going to give me the history behind the area and where all the historical battles and all that stuff. But the first person I went after was Sergeant First Class Corey Staley, my platoon sergeant. I knew he was the backbone of our platoon. I knew that people on my team looked up to him. He was a platoon sergeant. And for me to be successful, I needed him. I took my pride, I took my ego, I went through Ranger School straight through. I was on a commandant's list, we don't call it, at OCS. I was all that stuff. I was a Division I athlete. And I said, get out. And I went up to him, I said, Sergeant, my name is Florent Groberg. I'm the new LT. He's like, yeah, Roger, I know that. I said, look, I don't know anything. I'm green as it gets. You guys have just went through the summer season in the most kinetic place in the world. I just got out of Ranger School. I have never been in combat. I'm just starting to serve right now, but I understand I am now the platoon leader. But for me to be successful, I'm going to need you to teach me and mentor me and guide me and fix me, because I know I'm going to need a lot of fixing. You know what he said to me? He said, all right, sir, this is what we're going to do. Just shut up for the next 7 days. We're going to go out, we're going to get hit. Watch the way we react to contact. Listen to the way we communicate. Watch the way we maneuver. Listen to the way we call for fire. We talk to the birds. In the meantime, learn everything about your area of operation. Know about every target reference point. Know about every battle that we've been at. Understand how many villages you own, where they're located, and who the elders are. Then, go and meet every single one of the men. Learn about them. They're married, they have kids, where they come from, why they joined the Army. But don't become too friendly with them, because you still need to earn their respect, but you still need to be their leader. After 7 days, you and I are going to sit back down. We're going to discuss everything that has happened over the past 7 days. You're going to tell me what you want fixed, what you don't understand, then we're going to come up with a plan together. After we put that plan together, we're going to bring our squad leaders in. We're going to brief the plan. We're going to ask for their input. Once we do that, we'll finalize it, and it's yours, sir. All I need is 7 days, and then you got me for the rest of the tour and life. That's who you serve with, ladies and gentlemen. That is a leader. That man allowed me to lead our platoon successfully. We didn't lose a single guy in that entire tour on our platoon. Not a single one. And we got in some pretty interesting things. But I took my pride, I took my ego, I threw it aside. I went after an NCO, and I asked him to help me, fully knowing that I was his leader. But all I was wearing was a rank. And this is reality. And I wanted to be better. And I wanted to be effective. And I wanted to do my job and earn the right to call myself an American, serve my country, and lead Americans in combat. And the only way I could do that was to learn from the best. In that specific time, the best was Sergeant First Class Corey Staley. You can do that if you can take one lesson in this whole little thing I just spoke about. I think that is a way for you to find some success as our nation's future leaders. I sat in your shoes not too long ago, 8 years ago, and I was nervous. All I kept hearing about was, after OCS was, I picked infantry, was Ranger School. I mean, that's all I heard about for months. And when I went through Ranger School, all I could do is think about going to Afghanistan. So I left Fort Benning in a hurry, and I drove to Fort Carson. And I got there and said, hey, my name's Florin Gerber, I'm new LT, I need to be going to Afghanistan, my unit's deployed. And they're like, all right, chill, cowboy. There's a whole process. Like, first of all, you're in RT now, you gotta go to, do all this and that stuff. I'm like, okay. And I waited 3 weeks, and 3 weeks later, I was in Afghanistan. And that's when it hit me. I rushed it in my head. And I needed to make an adjustment. And that's why I sought out Corey Staley. You fast forward a couple years later, I'm seasoned. August 8, 2012. Well, on August 7, 2012, we got an email saying, congratulations, as of August 8, 2012, you will now be a captain in the United States Army. I was excited. I said, hell yeah. About time. We got delayed like 6 months, Oh, you're going to be backdated to July 26th. I'm like, are you serious? Like, no, I'm supposed to be backdated to like April. No big deal. I was going to be a captain. So the whole plan was we're going to do our patrol, go up to the Kunar security meeting, provincial security meeting with Governor Wahidi. Then we're going to go to Fob Joyce after that. The boss was going to have a meeting. I was taking Major Kennedy, who had just gotten in country for about 3 weeks, running brigades fires, and he was going to go out there and meet his team. Then we were going to come home, and I was going to get pinned. Finally, captain. That was a big moment for me, honestly. I was just tired of being a lieutenant. All you hear is lieutenant. Oh, lieutenant, LT. Oh, okay, LT speaking. Yep, LT's an LT. Don't worry about it. I was like, finally, captain. Little respect. Probably not, but you can always dream. Well, that day was supposed to be just a simple day. It was a day of excitement, to be honest with you. But I guess the Taliban heard about it, and they said they wanted to get involved. And did they ever. When we got there on that day, things didn't feel right. So we left from Jalalabad, and we went to Kop Fayez. Helicopters landed, dismount. Now, over the years, you learn a lot of different things. All your training, all your experiences. You don't really truly understand it until you get to that specific moment where it just all kicks in. And things didn't feel right. I've been in that area many times. It was green, always green. The last incident was in 2009. It was Afghan on Afghan. So, but things did not feel right. And the way we maneuvered, I ran a personal security detail for the brigade commander, Colonel Mingus, and Command Sergeant Major Griffin. And I had 6 guys, including myself. And the way it worked is I would call a receiving unit, and it'd send me 12 to 15 escorts, other soldiers. And it would be our outer security, and my 6 guys, my 6-man team, would be the inner security. And we'd put the VIPs, the principals, in a diamond. So in case we got hit while dismounted, we collapsed, my team collapsed on the principals, took them to safety, and the escorts fought the fight. Well, on that specific day, I had 2 brigade commanders, 3 battalion commanders, 2 command sergeant majors, 1 battalion, 1 brigade, 2 GS-15 State Department individuals, 2 brigade majors, 6 security plus 2. That's it. 8 guys to protect that entire crew. What do? You think we went back on the helicopters and went home? Nope. Boss started walking. You adjust. You adapt. You drive on. I changed everything. I was always at the rear of the diamond formation because I wanted hands-on to the boss in case we got hit. I wanted that responsibility. Well, that day I changed it. I gave it to PFC Ochart. I looked at him and I said, Ochart, you're taking my spot. I'm going to the spear of the diamond because I want better eyes on. We get hit. You take the boss down, you put him in safety. I do not care what he says to you. I don't care if he says he's the colonel, he's brigade commander. You're the brigade commander at that point. Now, the reason why I put Ochart there, because Ochart is 6'4" and 225 pounds, so I knew he had a shot. But then again, Colonel Mingus used to be Mr. Minnesota. He is General Mingus now, Brigadier General Mingus. He used to be Mr. Minnesota, so he's a tough cookie. But I told him, he looked at me, you know what he said to me? He said, Roger that, sir. Boom. Moved on. I took my Sergeant First Class Brink, my platoon sergeant, I put him up front. I said, hey, Sergeant, I need you to control the pace. Roger that, because we knew the boss would never walk past him. I took PFC C-Corps, always with the Command Sergeant Major the entire tour. I said, go out there with Brink. He looked at me, he said, sir. I said, go out there with Brink. Roger that, sir. Boom, go out there. To my right, I had Balderrama, my medic, E4. To my left, Sergeant Mahoney, my radio man, RTO. I put all the colonels in that diamond. And I went to Command Sergeant Major Griffin. I said, Sergeant Major, get in here. He looked at me and said, hell no. Way too many people there. I don't want to be in there. I said, Sergeant Major, come on. He looked at me and said, LT? And I was pissed because, man, I'm supposed to be a captain today. But, all right. You're getting at me. All right. He said, LT, I'm not getting there. So, you know, things you learn in life is, one, don't pick a fight with Sergeant Major, ever, no matter who you are. And I realized that he probably had a lot more experience, I mean, at least 20 plus more years than me, and he had been in combat multiple times. So I utilized that in my back of my head, and I said, Roger. He looked at me and said, LT, I'm in back. We need more security. What the shit's going on out here? I'm rear security. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, Roger that, Sergeant Major. I felt comfortable with that decision. You know why I felt comfortable with that decision? I had one of our best fighters in the rear, pulling security. You know, I can always depend on the Sergeant Major. So I felt good about that. He kind of, a little bit relieved, if you want to call it. But as we walked on, it got a little quiet. And then when we went around this curve, we got about a 300 meter, 400 meter straightaway before we crossed the bridge, and we got right next to the bridge, 2 motorcycles came at us. Well, you prepare yourself for that moment. You train years after years. You go through all those days and nights where you're kind of like, why are we doing this over and over and over again? I get it. I know it. Jesus, let it go. You know, let's go back home. It's ridiculous. All this kicks in. They came at us. They dumped their bike, started running away. At that specific moment, a man came out of the structure. Young man, maybe 18 to 22, walking backwards. Black man jams. The reason why I saw him is because my platoon sergeant turned around to look at me to make sure I was tracking what was happening around. As he turned, he started looking to my left. I, in turn, looked to my left, and I saw this man, weird looking, walking backwards, parallel to my patrol. He's close. So, I didn't know what to do except yell at him. I looked at him. He did a 180 and made a 90-degree turn right to my patrol. At that specific moment, I left. When he started moving like that, I was gone. I went and met him. I yelled at him, no reaction. That man never looked at me. Never looked at me. He had a, just like, devil look. But he always looked past me. And I yelled at him, and I hit him with my rifle. I couldn't see a weapon, so I couldn't shoot him. You know, you assess the threat, but we do have something called escalation of force. So I call it the hand-to-hand combat escalation of force. Yell, hit, grab, right? Whatever. That's the whole thing. I yelled at him, I hit him. When I hit him across the chest, I felt something on his chest. Didn't know what it was exactly at that point. So I let go of my rifle, I had it slung, and I grabbed him by that chest. At that specific moment, this is when you stop thinking. There's no time to think. It is not your job at that specific moment to think. You know why? The think's been done. The training's been done. Follow your instincts. Believe in the mission. You love the people around you. I loved every single one of my men. I still do to this day. And I sure as heck love serving for Colonel Mingus. Best damn leader I've ever had in my life. You react. You do your job. My job, Mahoney's job, Balrama's job, Secor's job, Ochar's job, and Brink's job was simple. Protect the boss and the command sergeant major at all costs. If that means that you lose your life on that day and they don't, that is a good day at work. If you can't do that job, don't do it. We will find somebody else to do it. That's the responsibility. That's the reality. That was our job as United States Army soldiers. While I was rushing this guy and hitting him, Mahoney looked at me and said, man, come on. Damn stupid LT. Always doing dumb stuff. Let me go help him out. Took off with me. Bomb. Got to get him away. All I can think was, push him out. But you're not thinking. You're reacting. You're doing it. You're following through. And our job was simple. Got to get him away from everybody else. Threw him. Mahoney finished him off. He landed on my feet and detonated. I'm here today with a boo-boo on my left leg. That's it. And a medal around my neck. Command Sergeant Major Griffin. Major Gray. Major Kennedy. Reggie Abdel Fattah are not here today. That man that detonated my feet, who did not kill me, killed them. Welcome to reality. That's reality. You always have to be at your best, because sometimes in combat, and that is the horror of war, when you are at your 100%, you can still lose people. I was lucky that I got to serve with our nation's finest. Because when I woke up from that blast, I should have died. I should have bled out. You know what I didn't do? I put my tourniquet in the wrong place. It got blown off. And I was so screwed up, I never actually tourniqueted myself. I was bleeding out. All I kept thinking about was, I'm in a kill zone, and I have to get out of here. So I couldn't find my rifle. I took my pistol. I made sure I had a round in the chamber, but I had to get out. A platoon sergeant came out there and saved my life. First person saved my life. Grabbed me by the plate carrier, didn't say nothing, dragged me, threw me in a ditch. My medic, torn MCL, PCL, saved my life. Looked at me, kept me awake, put a tourniquet on me, smacked me, did not give me water, pissed me off. Really pissed me off because he told me, you're about to go to surgery, sir. We're not putting water in your system. And you're going to live. Don't quit on me. And all I kept saying like a little baby, save my leg, doc, save my leg, doc. He's like, yeah, your leg's fine. Just shut up. Don't die. All right? You're good. You got to move on. And then I went back to being a leader. Give me an assessment of what's happening. How is Mountain Warrior 6, Colonel Mingus? How is Mountain Warrior 7, Commander Sergeant Major Griffin? What are their status? And it said, Mountain Warrior 6, fine, sir, he's got a concussion. Good to go. Mountain Warrior 7 didn't make it. I didn't believe him. I said some words. So get me out of this ditch. They got me out of this ditch, started dragging me, like, pick me up. I got a good leg. I can hop. Come on. He got me, and then they walked me towards the MATV to be Kazovac. When I got there, right before I got to the truck, I saw 4 men. Griffin, Gray, Kennedy, and Reggae, all lying there, KIA. I saw a young Afghan smiling. You know what I still had in my hand? That pistol. You know what I almost did? I almost shot that guy. If I would have done it, I'd still be here telling you I'm okay with it. That's my mindset. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. That might sound horrible, but that's the truth. I had never felt that way at that specific moment. I cannot explain the pain, the anger, the sadness, everything combined into one ball and what was going through my head when I saw that person smiling. But you know why I didn't shoot him? Because PFC Ochart, who had just saved Mingus's life, because you know what he did when he saw that guy? Immediately when he saw that guy coming, turning, he grabbed the ball, started dragging him away. He did his job. He didn't think twice. He did his job. And he protected me from my own self at that specific moment. He grabbed me by the arm. He said, it's not worth it, sir. We'll get him. Don't worry about it. And he put me in that truck and he closed the door. And my war was over. You know, I went through a lot of demons at Walter Reed. 3 years Walter Reed. A lot of demons. I was not a fun person to be around. I hated the world, hated myself. I had survivor's guilt. I did not understand how I lived, and 4 did not. I did not understand how a man could be so crazy and sick in the head or forced to do this thing to blow himself up at my feet. But he did not kill me, he killed 4 of my men. How did I fail? I was ashamed. I was scared to speak to the families, the Gold Star families. But one man walked into my room, Travis Mills, a quadruple amputee. And he came to me, he walked in my room, he had heard about this stupid, now captain, by the way. Yeah, captain, got promoted that day. And he said, you know, he had heard about how he was angry at the world, blah, 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 you know, sad, feeling sorry for himself. He walked in there, he walked in my room, never forget, opens the door, you know, he's walking like this. By the way, if you don't know anything about Travis Mills, y'all need to freaking Google him, okay? That man is a damn hero if you want to talk about heroes. And I do not say that word often, heroes, because I don't believe in the word hero. But he is one. And he said, man, what a good day to be alive. What a good day to be an American. Your Bears suck at football. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, what the hell? Like, who is he? You know? And 15 minutes later, he walked out of my room and made a promise to myself. I would no longer ever feel sorry for myself. I would destroy these demons. I would live the rest of my life as a better person, earning the right to still be here today, earning the right to be breathing. I would live my life for those 4 individuals and their families. I would make them proud. I would honor them. I've been given a second chance at life to make a difference, a positive difference. 4 of my brothers are in heaven right now after making the ultimate sacrifice. I'm here, and I will represent them for the rest of my life. This medal right here never belongs to a human being. It is an impossibility. The Medal of Honor represents something way bigger and greater. This medal, for me specifically, represent those 4 men and their families for the rest of their lives are going to be missing a key person in their family. Every single holiday, Memorial Day that's coming up, August 8th, our Life Day. For me, Thanksgiving, Christmases, that person will not be there. But I will. My family will. My friends will. And I'm going to make damn sure that I earn a right to be here. Because I had an honor and a privilege and a blessing to serve for the greatest organization in the world, the United States Army. It is the truth. It is the only organization where you get to take an oath, pledge allegiance to your country, go out there and serve with people who are doing the same thing, and where you are willing not to come home to make sure that the mission is accomplished and that you represent your country. If you tell me that is not the most responsible job in the world and the greatest job in the world, then you are not in the right spot. I promise you. Man, do your time and get out. Because this country, specifically today, needs leaders. You are our future leaders. You represent them. You represent me. I'm just a civilian. I speak occasionally, and I'm trying to make differences in another way. But I am holding you responsible to make sure that I get to sleep comfortably at night and that my family does. And I promise you one thing, I do, because I believe in you. I 100% believe in you. So take the time today, if you do have the time, to chat with somebody from a previous generation. Ask them why they serve, because I promise you one thing, it's going to be the exact same reason why you serve. Country, family, brotherhood. You're going to make your best friends doing this job. And some of you are enlisted and you've served, you've been in country already, and you understand that. I wear my friends here. Many of you do as well. Every day when I wake up, and before I go to bed, I make sure that I was the best person that I could be. And I don't always win, and I fail. And I wake up the next day, and I make sure that I'm better. If you can do that, then you're going to be doing some good for the rest of your lives. Look, it was the greatest honor in the world to be able to wear the colors, to wear the uniform, and been given an opportunity to serve with our nation's finest and lead them. And for that, I'm just thankful. And for all of you, thank you for leading the way. Thank you for showing us what it's like to serve our country and the importance behind our flag. You're the best example that we could ever ask for. You represent the best of our country and our history. And I hope that I did just my part, enough of my part, to earn your respect. And I promise you that these individuals right here, our future leaders, are going to do the exact same thing. They're going to work their butts off to earn your respect. And for that, I said, I'm proud to be an American. Thank you so much.